my husband woke up and had a pain in his back, said he didn't feel good, and so I said, I think we need to go to the emergency room, which we did, and as soon as we got over at Rappahannock General, they figured out that he was having a massive heart attack, so then they had to air vac him to Henrico Doctors in Richmond, and they were waiting for him when he got there, and so then they put a stent in, and he spent 3 weeks in the hospital, and of course we had no health insurance because he had just started his own business. He had lost his job and start his own business in March, and so he didn't feel like he could afford the health care premiums. His doctor said he will be a heart patient for the rest of his life. He was never sick, never took an aspirin, so that was a shocker. And then because we didn't have any insurance, we have some neighbors that told us about the free clinic. We had no idea what they offered, but it's amazing because my husband's on probably around $600 worth of medicines, which they are helping to support him with, and I get choked up thinking about it, so that's why. I don't know, if we didn't have that, I don't know what we would do.
I'm a painter, plumber, and part-time electrician. Been doing that on my own for 2 years, but before that, my father taught me a little bit about the trade, and I like what I'm doing because it's satisfying. Some people call me an artist. It's pleasurable to hear them say that and satisfy someone because I have a family, my wife and she had twins, and if anything God forbid, if anything happened to me and I'm not able to work, I would want them to be well taken care of. I go to Blue Ridge up in Loverston, and they got a sliding scale, which is helpful. You know, it's hard enough raising kids and paying house notes, bills. You get sick, you can't help that. My wife had to go do some dental work. Outcome of that was marvelous. When you got pearly whites and your self-esteem goes up higher, and her self-esteem has totally went up, and you know she's very talkative, and I think since she got her teeth, she's a little more talkative.
With the twins, because they're under famous, their doctor bills is not as much. We had a real bad situation last Christmas, that our twin daughter developed seizures. To this day, the doctor doesn't know what it's from. Well, from famous, we only had to pay $5 a month for her medicine. We paid $5 for her doctor's visit. And I just want to stop and say thank you. I get very emotional about this because we don't know what it's from. But we thank God because she's been seizure-free for a whole year.
I'm a waitress at a restaurant, so no benefits are offered. I make too much money to get any government assistance as far as Medicaid goes, and I make too little money to be able to afford going to a dentist and whatnot. My fellow employees told me about the free health clinic. Most people that I know around here can't afford to go to a doctor. At the free health clinic, it helps a lot of people get health care. You know, there are a lot of people out here that just don't go to dentists. I know one lady that has been to the dental clinic, and she's 30 years old, has not been to the dentist, and she had to get all of her teeth pulled out. So, I mean, the dental clinic is helping people my age get the dental care that they need, so when I'm 30, I don't need to be wearing dentures.
Having lived in the country and dedicated my life to breeding and showing purebred dachshunds, I wouldn't have been happy doing anything else. I've been a gourmet cook. I worked on yachts in Europe. I spent 11 years in Europe. And all this stuff was really exciting while I was doing it, but it's very insecure. I never had any insurance. I managed okay, and I didn't have that much wrong with me. But now that I'm older, who thought I would get degenerative osteoarthritis at 60? My hip finally did collapse, and it was the worst pain that I've ever felt in my life. If it wasn't for Sally Graham and the Free Clinic of Goochland, able to find me a surgeon who could operate on me pro bono, I think I would be in a wheelchair today, and I probably would have lost my house and lost my dogs. I probably would have lost everything.
I work with mentally handicapped people, which I absolutely love, and it's very challenging. but it's a good job. It's a good job. I've been coming to the free health clinic ever since they began, which was started way back in about 91. And if I didn't have free health clinic and no health insurance, I wouldn't have been able to afford medication for myself and my husband. I'm an asthmatic and a diabetic. He's a diabetic. We wouldn't even be able to get medication. We really wouldn't. And it has helped so many people. And I wish there was something I could do to help them for all that they have done for me.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness for Virginia Healthcare Foundation.
Thank goodness.